Hello everyone, welcome back. Right, as usual, we are going to look at stocks that was highlighted. Well, if you look at the email over at the right hand side, of course, there are some repeated counters and some on the updates. So, like for example, ventures, I mentioned it last week, so I'm going to mention it this week again. Then we have ST Engineering following up and keep following up to make sure that the stocks is still in place where we want it to be. Then we have SETS, UMS, CapitaLand Invest again. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at the counters that we highlighted. So first of all, I will just touch on this Keppel Corp, because Keppel Corp was a highlight on the 1st of June, which we see potential chance for it to go up. Now bear in mind, we already have our target in place where Keppel Corp, if we were to break out from this resistance around 655, right, we are going to see this target around 676. Then next one, it will be 705. So Keppel Corp announced that they have won some contract to service the Thailand green energy. So we can see Keppel Corp, after the hammer, there isn't any follow through buying on the next day, but the follow through buying came in on the following day. After the next trading day, the next following day, it actually went up and closed higher. So that gives the signal to tell us that Keppel Corp has a chance to go up. Now, of course, Keppel Corp hovered for 2 days before it really runs up, and yesterday's breakout was a very important one. And look at the volume over here. The volume is very high, and this is what we needed for the breakout. So as of now, it's 11 a.m. trading, and the volume is already halfway to yesterday's volume. So this means that there is a very strong buying action over here, and we can see that Keppel Corp is approaching its next target at 705. So congrats to those who have been holding Keppel Corp, and let's see whether we can achieve the next target at 751. Right, next counter will be CapitaLand Invest, highlighted a lot of times. So we have it on the 7th of June. Then we updated on CapitaLand Invest again on this 12th of June. So let's see the latest update on 12th of June, what was mentioned by myself. So CapitaLand Invest update, we see a descending wedge. Okay, descending wedge is a sign of weakness in selling. So you can see here that this counter has lower low and lower high, but the lower high has a characteristics and profile to tell us weakness, because it's not as what we call symmetrical. So normally we have two types of downtrend. Okay, so one type of downtrend is parallel, or this is what we call the downtrend channel. Okay, the other type of downtrend will be something like this, where it may be approaching towards the end. So we are looking at a rebound back to 336, then it has a chance to recover back to 351. So this is the resistance come projected level. So let's see whether CapitaLand Invest has the opportunity to go there. So you can see here, CapitaLand Invest currently is trading at 338, 339, and is approaching its previous support turn resistance at 340. So if we can break above this 340, then it can approach to hit its projected target about 351 over here. So far it's looking good, because the downtrend, first of all, is negated because of touching the same high. So there's no more lower high, and we can see a very nice base formed here. So if CapitaLand Invest can break out 341, then we are well on the way to change a trend. Okay, so of course ultimately we like it to cross 351 to hit 384 ultimate resistance here. Next will be venture. Remember venture, I mentioned last week that if it managed to recover from the black candle and close higher, it will be a sign to tell us that venture is going to move up. Okay, so the good thing for venture is that it did close higher, forming a hammer pattern, and then the next day it continued to form a hammer pattern, and today we can see venture right now is trading at 1588. So this is a very strong movement from venture. So venture also have a descending wedge as highlighted in the email, which tells us that the downtrend is weakening and potential change in trend, if it can break out successfully, is on the card, and venture exactly did that. So kudos to venture. Thank you for giving the strong conviction to us on the technical observation. Then we have UMS highlighted, potential forming a higher low over here. So we are looking at a breakout above 110, right, so that it can continue its uptrend. So but the key thing here is that we are looking at UMS to be above 106 first. So how did UMS perform, or how does it perform now? So we can see UMS currently hovering at 107, 108, but it has formed the higher low over here already, and then 110 will be the ultimate level to break in order for it to continue higher towards 115. So all the best UMS. So we can still safely hold UMS to it goes higher towards 115. Then the next counter will be ST Engineering. So when we talk about ST Engineering, ST Engineering was observed to be hovering at the support line very well over here, and we expected it to go to 378 resistance ultimately. So let's see how it performed here. So you can see this downtrend line can be plotted by connecting the highs over here, and you can see ST Engineering sitting very nicely above this support level. So yesterday it rallied to 372, but it's not a resistance until it hit 378. Although today we see some weakness, but hopefully if we can recover back to 372, then we have a good chance to see 378 tested very closely. So if you look at over here long term for ST Engineering, we are looking at the uptrend still intact, and 378, once it breaks, then we will be looking at 385. So today we have Keppel Corp and SIA Engineering. I mentioned Keppel Corp earlier. So SIA Engineering over here, we are looking at it testing resistance. So resistance continue to hold for SIA Engineering, but the uptrend remains intact. So it needs a breakout from 347 in order to continue its uptrend and form the next higher high, and which will be this 352 resistance. So going forward, SIA Engineering has a chance to go 252, right, if it can break up from 247, and it may even go higher than 252 if the markets remain bullish. Okay, then we have some time. Let's talk about iFast and Genting Sync, which was highlighted on this particular days, 8th of June and 9th of June. So Thai beverage was spotted at this low at 54 support. So we expected some rebound, and we seen some rebound from 54. We went to 555, and now is testing 58, right? Struggling at 58, consolidating. So this consolidation seems to be good because there isn't any follow through selling, despite that it closed lower yesterday. So if today can end up at 58, then we have a potential chance for it to break the next few days. So 6-1 will be its previous resistance support, and we want it to go there, right, in the next few days. Then we have iFast and June-16. So iFast, we expected a support form over here. Okay, as you can read over here, the counter has been on a downward momentum for the past few days, and candle may be suggesting a change on the cut. It's on the cut. The change in momentum may happen when the counter closes above 433, following through buying for the hammer pattern. So we are looking at this confirmation, and iFast had the confirmation, and today we can see the counter continue go higher. So 490 will be its first resistance before it hits 505. So let's see whether it can ultimately clear this 490 level and start a longer uptrend. So we can see uptrend over here for iFast already, with the low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high. But if it's going to continue its uptrend, hopefully it can hit above 505. Yeah. Then next will be June-16. June-16 was spotted to form a hammer at 200-day MA. Okay, so let's see how it performed over here. So the counter is still hovering around 200-day MA, and it need to move to $1 in order to start something positive. Okay, so we can see some good sign over here, especially when it forms a white candle over here. But we need to close higher, like at least 97 today, then eventually to $1, then we can see something more positive, like I say. Okay, now you might be wondering, when do I use indicator, and when do I not use indicator? As you can see, most of my technical charts I don't use indicator, but for June-16 I use indicator. Now sometimes you are curious about things. I don't usually use indicator unless the stocks comes down to a level which is at a very oversold level. So when it's at a very oversold level, you are curious what will happen after that. So you are looking at signs that may potentially help the counter. First, of course, the hammer, and the second is the volume. The volume is pretty high. Next is support level. So you want to know this support level for June-16 at 955, around 955, 95, okay, and then around 92. What kind of support it is? It is a major support, and then if there's MA support, it will be stronger. Ultimately, it is on a downtrend, and we want to be more prudent. So that's why I turn on the indicators to check out, if this is a very strong support, there might be a chance for it to rebound, especially there's a hammer with high volume over there. Of course, it's still early to say whether June-16 can succeed in its rebound, because June-16 just moved up a little bit. As compared to CapitaLand, Invest and Venture, it has gone up. So basically, we can see that if the support holds, then there is a chance for it to really do something positive. Okay, so with this, I'd like to end the video for this week. I'll see you next week. I appreciate the likes last week, so hopefully you can continue and give me some more encouragement to continue this work. Alright, so if you have friends to recommend to me to open account with Lim and Tan, please help and recommend them. There's some referral rewards. Feel free to contact me, pass them my contact, and I will see you again next week. Thank you for viewing this week's video.